Last preseason game of the season. We getting ready to get to it, man. But before we get to it and bring it to you, go ahead and hit that like and that subscribe button on YouTube. And if you're in Facebook, go ahead and click that StreamYard link. We want to hear what you got to say. Tonight is just one of them nights, ladies and gentlemen. But hey, without further ado, Birdcage is getting ready to get to it. Let's go.
Okay, y'all, this is it. Okay, y'all, this is it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you already know what time it is, man. You either get right or you get left. You're in the Birdcage with your boy, the historian. I'm getting ready to start bringing in the crew. But tonight, what I've done, this is what we do after every game, win, lose, or draw. I put the link for the StreamYard we interact with the fans after the game. But the rules are you have to have your screen on and you got to limit the profanity. I know it's a little frustrating or whatnot, especially after a loss, but I keep this a family friendly show. But like I said, we want you to express your frustrations and everything else that comes with it. So definitely looking to bring you guys on to talk with us for a little bit, chop it up tonight. Not gonna stay in the cage tonight that long because, of course, tomorrow's Friday, so we're gonna let folks get their frustration out. But the first people I gotta bring in my normal crew that I generally have. I got my man K Dub, Killer Killian Worthy, better known as Mr. Clutch. What's going on, Clutch?
What's going on? What's going on, Birdcage family? What is the results that we wanted to see this evening? But we did go out and get some good eyes on guys that could possibly make the team, and guys that we're going to possibly be cutting and saying goodbye to or putting on the practice squad. So, I mean, I want to see the reactions from different fans. The StreamYard link in the description box. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to hear from other people tonight. I talk all the time, and you talk all the time, so it's kind of like let those fans come in. But we'll give our soliloquy. But I've seen a couple positives from a few people. Woodside, Helms is a star. I feel like in the making, and you touched on that at the halftime analysis and some of the other things. But we got a chance to just kind of see what these guys can do, and I'm just praying that our starters, don't get hurt because they don't look too good behind us. Just, from what I've seen.
Well, we know this story too well. We are going to try to bring in our guy Graybeard when he gets his camera up. Just waiting for him. But just to kind of touch on that, we got everything going right now. It's just not good. Let's just be real. What's going on, Facebook user? Nah, we're just gonna stay in for a little bit, kind of talk about what we saw, and then we're gonna go ahead and get off or whatnot. We're not gonna stay too late, but we do have that link. So if you want to jump in and speak to us, because this is why we got it open or whatnot. We talk all the time, so we want to hear what the fans got to say tonight. But I got to bring in my guy Graybeard for a minute, so he can talk about good, bad. So without further ado, we got our man Glenn Smalls, better known as Graybeard. What's going on, Glenn?
Fellas, what's going on? How y'all feeling tonight?
Hey
Feeling good,
man,
feeling good.
learning experience, baby. I'm good.
Whew, well, I mean, it was not the party line that we wanted. Got a little bit of taste of that benediction, but I didn't put too much stake in this game. I just wanted to see, a few players that can possibly like KW that can make the team. I think the positive spot are that freaking Woodcott, if need be, can be a quarterback that could help us if Lord forbid if Ritter goes down. And I like the possibility that he can bring to the team. He can look at it. You see what he did when he can a little bit shifty. He can still try to he can still read through his progression, still looking downfield, which I like to see. And Helfman, man,
Mm-hmm.
this dude
So,
will be starting by week 3. He'll be in a rotation by week 3. I mean, you've seen all you need to see from this guy. I mean, as a rookie, he playing attacking the ball, not scared, making plays, playing fairly and carefree. That's another thing I like to hear about him, man. He didn't have no pressure tonight. He just went out there and played football. And I think a lot of players could have learned from that because they were playing too tentative and too tight tonight.
hmm. Well, I mean, again, I'm not gonna call it the benediction because we're not in the season yet, bro. This is more of a learning experience because you got to learn who's gonna fit what we're gonna do and who's got to go. You know what I'm saying? Some of these guys are gonna be practice squad guys. Some of these guys are gonna be with other teams, and then some guys might be out of a job. You know, this is the part of the business that sucks, but hey, it's needed because at the end of the day, the Falcons didn't perform. Their backups didn't perform well tonight. They were manhandled, not just by also manhandled by others as well. So looking at it, it's just it's I'll say this. You got money that's gonna be coming in, you start building up your depth a little bit better. You got to start doing better player evaluations. Point
And,
blank period. You're gonna find them, but you got to start spending money on bringing in your depth. Point blank period.
and it starts with cutting the dead weight. I mean, we got to be honest. Like you said, this is a business. And there's a few players that got cut after the first half. Let's just be honest. Some players probably killed their faith in the first half. But like you said, it's a learning experience. I think Arthur Smith just wanted to see them fight, wanted to see them go through a little bit of adversity and see how they handle the pressure. I think that's all he wanted to see. I mean, yeah, it would have loved that we got the dub or whatnot, but he just wanted to see how the player was going to react, putting in certain situations and whatnot, and most importantly, come out of here healthy. Like the Facebook user say. I do agree. We came out healthy.
Yeah, I believe this saying what Great Beard was touching on is the fact that I feel like he's already knows he's going to make the team. But the key thing that you said at the end of what your statement was is get through the game as healthy as possible. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I really don't feel like we wanted to win. This is my perception. I'm not putting words in anyone else's mouth but my own. I feel like we didn't really want to win. We just want to get through the game healthy. I already know who I'm going to cut, who I'm going to keep. I've seen enough practice to pretty much know that in my mind already as a head coach.
Yeah, no doubt. I think health was pretty much the number one concern for Arthur Smith and our DC. Just wanted to get we come back healthy. We pretty much already know who we're going to keep, who's going to be on the practice squad, and who unfortunately going to get released. He just wanted to get them more reps to get another eye view of what they had to work with or whatever. But overall, man, I'm still excited about this team. I still
Mm-hmm.
still think we're gonna make noise. This third season preseason game is not gonna deter me. I still think we're gonna win 11 wins. and we're going to win the division. I'm sticking with that.
I mean, that's the best way to be. What we need to do. So some one of our I'm sorry, one of our users, Anthony White's trying to get in. I need someone to go ahead in the back. No, 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 you're fine. I just need somebody to go into Dirty Bird's lair and go ahead and repost that link because I posted the link in there already. So if one of you guys can post that link so Anthony can jump in. And if anybody else is having issues with the link or whatnot, we're going to repost that so everybody can get in because we want to at least hear from you guys. Like I said, we talk all the time. So the least that we like to do is start getting everybody in so we can make sure that everybody's voice is heard because even though that we're still, we're on a different platform, we're gonna stick with the same format. This is a show for the people made up by people's opinions. So definitely, definitely, definitely chop it up with us. So we definitely want you guys in. What's going on, Sean? He said this is a dress tryout for the guys to fill out for the 53 roster. Yeah, it's a dress tryout, and some of these guys, like we say in Atlanta, hey man, it's time to cut some. So hey, guess what? We gotta cut some. Let's just be real. Because some now, they couldn't even whip up a batch of batter for some pancakes right now, even if you gave them the instruction. It's not as simple. But hey, that's just what it is. So Ant Man, did you get the link? We still trying to wait on you to get in here, man, because we're definitely gonna talk about this beatdown that was put on.
And
Now, so while we're talking about this beatdown, let's be real. Um, Mike Tomlin ended up putting his starters in to start the game, and he pretty much spotted his backups 14 points. He spotted them 14 points, and he said, "All right, y'all go ahead and take care of business," which they did, and we can't be mad about it. Now it was a comment. I've heard some comments that were made. Some folks, and it wasn't just K Dub. It was some other folks. Or whatnot that I saw in other groups was like, man, well, we need to have Mike Tomlin. He wins and has his thing. Mike Tomlin has always been under pressure since day one, since he stepped in Pittsburgh. And anybody who's coached in Pittsburgh is very patient with their coaches. But the thing is, they're patient with you because they want you to breed success because they have a formula of success that was started back with Chuck Noll. That's why it's only been really since Chuck Noll, two other coaches, Bill Cowher, who won a Super Bowl, and you got Mike Tomlin, who won the Super Bowl. So looking at it from a standpoint of developing, they develop their own. They give these guys time. But Tomlin has had pressure since he's been in Pittsburgh since day one, from fans, from ownership, and he still has it, and he's never had a losing season. And they're still talking about trying to fire this man. So they don't accept mediocrity. They don't accept mediocrity at all. So for the Falcons, we have to be in a situation where we cannot accept mediocrity, and we have to be in a position to where we actually start holding ownership accountable and start holding management accountable because it's it's really getting ridiculous now. How do you gentlemen feel about that?
I agree, man. Mike Tomlin been under pressure since day one. Because you got to think about it. He's like the first African American head coach in Pittsburgh. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so you got to think about that pressure alone. And then,
Oh, I wasn't gonna state the obvious. I wasn't gonna state the obvious. I let you went on ahead and said it for me.
hey, it is what it is. But he had pressure since day one, and they didn't think he was gonna last this long. Not only that he lasted this long, he didn't have not one losing season in his whole entire coaching tenure, and he brought them a Super. So, I mean, he surpassed all their expectations. If he get one more, if he get one more Super Bowl, they're never gonna let this man go. I promise
well,
you.
he's already cemented himself with having one.
Yeah.
The Falcons right now, we're trying to get our first one. Pittsburgh already has six. So we're trying to get one. They got six. And think about it, the last three coaches that they've had them with it. Think about it. Both of those coaches, Bill Cowher went to two Super Bowls. I posted the so Ant. So I posted the link in your Facebook DM, man. Come on in here. Because you're very boisterous. We like to hear what you got to say. But it's just what it is, man. But and also the link is also posted in YouTube, ladies and gentlemen, by the way. The YouTube pinned to YouTube. I'm just gonna be real, man. We just gotta, how can I put it? We have to really put this thing in the perspective of, all right, this is the first time we've had money, new defensive coordinator. You got, you have three new coaches on the side of the ball. Three new. So with these three coaches, they're going to come changes. They're going to come a bunch of growing pains with this. Offensively, I don't want anybody on that starting offensive line to go down, because if they go down, we obviously see that we're going to have weak links on this dog on his backup stretch.
One
Much
of
as
the
I hate to say
one of the weak link ain't gonna be here. Mayfield gone, bro. He gone.
it.
If you watch that, I think it was in that first half, second quarter. This man was getting burnt just by straight speed rushing.
Yeah.
No type spin move, no nothing. Just straight speed rushing in the inside. And Woodcock was getting, and they were coming from his side. And then adjust to that, not one.
Mm.
But I really don't
Well,
feel
I
like they were trying
mean,
to adjust to it. I mean, they know who they're going to keep, like I was stating earlier. So this is pretty much get through it healthy. Mayfield know he's gone. Everybody knows he's gone. So you just get through it healthy. We did pretty good. I think Woodside took a little shot on the elbow, but he looks pretty fine after the game was over. So we did pretty good. I mean, now I can open up the playbook against Carolina. So let's see how we showcase that talent and all the plays that we working on in preseason and training camp.
I got with
yeah.
the running back situation that we got. If you were Arthur Smith, who would you keep?
If I was Arthur Smith, we already know DeMarco Hellams is staying. We already know Clark Phillips III is staying. Anthony's gonna jump in now. We just gonna let him get situated, because we definitely want to hear what he got to say tonight. So bring it to the floor. We're gonna let Mr. Anthony White come in. What's going on, soldier?
Big
What's up,
A,
BirdCage? How y'all fellas doing tonight, man?
what's going on, Big
It's
Homie?
about
Glad to
time,
have
man.
you in.
You
Glad to
owe us
have you
like two or
in.
three visits.
Man, my bad. You know what? Most of the time I listen to y'all, I don't get to do it live. I got the kids, got the baby, my wife, so I be running around. But I always get y'all at night or whatever. But I rarely get to listen to y'all live, so I want to do it tonight.
Yes,
Well, we
sir.
appreciate you for coming in. Let's go ahead and
You already know.
go ahead and say what you need to say, man. I mean, the floor is yours.
Well, I don't take too much with tonight. I know people kind of frustrated, how they did it, but you got to look at it. They played their first string. You
Mm-hmm.
got to look at Pittsburgh last year. Their offense was terrible, so it didn't surprise me that they played most of their first string for the first two series. Look at them last year. They were like 20, like 21 points a game, and their OC was kind of like he on the hot seat, so he got to come out here and ball this year. So okay, they got a couple in. First string defense got a couple in. You saw that coming. This is an evaluation night, man. I mean, I'm looking at Austin Smith like this. He must have thought they had some real good practice last few weeks. He must have thought, okay, I saw what I need to see. So while I wanted to see Desmond Ritter, I would like to have seen Desmond Ritter for at least one series. I think we all do, because he still don't have the time on the field. I ain't tripping
Mm-hmm.
too much on it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
But so I got Anthony Moss. What's going on, Big Moss? He said bring in Jason Peters for depth. The problem with Jason Peters is he's a great veteran to have, but thing is, because he's been up and down with his health pretty much in probably the last 7 years of his career. It's been up and down. And if you bring a guy like that in, yeah, it's locker room leadership. But here's the thing: those young guys aren't going to respect the fact that you ain't on the field. Let's be real. They got to see what you're talking about, because no matter what they tell them, it's got to be in a situation where he's got to perform and he's got to show. That's my thing.
I agree.
Yeah, I feel
Now,
you,
when we
but I
get,
mean, I still keep the tabs on some of these guys sitting on the couch. I do feel that coming also.
I tell you, we got some folks in Falcons Nest. We got Rise Up Nation that's normally consistent. I posted the link for you or whatnot in there. So if you want to jump in, you can. And then we have another gentleman by the name of Jeff Hicks who consistently comments. What's going on, Jeff? Yes, pretenders or whatnot. But hey, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, man. All us boys that's veterans up on this panel right now, including my man Anthony White. If you ain't a vet, hey man, we fought to give you that opinion. So I don't agree with it, but hey, you're entitled to that, brother. So there's no disrespect on this end, but just know I'm letting you know I disagree with you on it, and I ain't got a problem with saying it. But I have much love for you because you do support us. And some of your takes, like you said, I think the best take you've given was we don't draft like Tomlin. It's not Tomlin that's drafting, it's the Steelers drafting department. Let's be real. How
Yeah,
many times have y'all heard me preach on this show about how piss poor our draft department is?
start with the scout department, man. Department.
Yeah. How many times have I said the scouting department is terrible?
I mean, you said it numerous times.
And I'm gonna
Well,
continue to say it. And my thing is, like we got people that watch the show that do work with the Falcons, and we have former Falcons who watch this show and folks who pay attention. And yeah, I'm man enough to say it. I'm not gonna coddle the team that I root for. I'm sorry. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. Love the Falcons, but I'm not one of these fans that's gonna be, oh, it'll be all right. No, I'm gonna call a spade a spade. Here's the problem. You get splash players here and there. You just started getting splash players like a Bijan Robinson or a Kyle Pitts and Drake London, guys of that sort, splash players. Now, the question is, can you continue to build through the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh round, those rounds, the champion? I call those the championship rounds because those are the guys that are fighting to get a job. And then you got the undrafted free agents. Can you bring in guys not only that is going to fit your system, are you going to bring in guys that are going to be able to change the sorry culture we got? And yeah, I said it. It's from fans on up, I'm sorry, from ownership all the way down to us fans. We got a sorry culture. We got to change that. We have to change that all the way around.
Start with the attitude, man. Yeah,
Exactly.
start with the attitude. Start by which people at. I mean, like three people.
Working out.
Granted, it was
When you
30.
breaking up, buddy.
Oh my bad. Granted,
Just reset. Go ahead.
nah. Granted, Thursday night there was more Steelers fans than
Yeah.
we drafted.
Anthony, what you got?
you right about the past culture of the Falcons, man. I mean, you look at it from the early '90s up to 2000. We got when Reggie Smith sold the team to Arthur Blank, and they pretty much had to start over. And I mean, once to early 2000, we got Vic. We had Rich McKay was running a lot of the GM stuff, and then he moved over to Mitchoff, and it was starting to get a little better, but I mean, it just hasn't been consistent. I mean, but I really do. I mean, I kind of like what Terrence Arthur starting off. We got to understand the situation for a couple of years, man. I mean, it was in
Hmm.
salary cap purgatory. You had a lot of players that just wasn't fitting the culture they wanted to build, and I mean, think about it. I saw something a couple weeks ago. 40 out of 53 people on the roster on the roster, they had 53 people 2 years ago. It's only 9 people left from that.
Yeah.
Oh no.
He gotta come back.
He came back home, man. My man ain't going nowhere. He got it. And we can't hear you, buddy.
The microphone.
I think you might have pulled out your microphone. But go ahead, Ant. Still can't hear you. Try to get out and come back in. Try to get out
Go
and come
ahead.
back in.
Yeah, go out and come back in. We got
Yeah,
you.
we'll get him to come back in. So all right. So we're gonna bring in our guy Ant again. We're gonna let him log out and he's gonna come back in. But here's the thing. It's building depth, and this is like one of the last topics I'm gonna touch on because I don't want to go too late tonight. Just wanted to jump on. have a little something for the people so we can talk about this bad performance that we saw tonight. But is building depth an issue for Atlanta? Anthony's back, so I'm gonna let him answer this question. So
I'm sorry about that. Somebody caught me, man. I'm sorry about that, though.
no, man, you good. So here's the thing. Last topic for the night, because we're not gonna go too long. Is building depth for Atlanta an issue?
I think it's getting better. Um, you got to remember, man. Think about what Terry Fontenot done for a couple years. They've been churning people in and out, in and out, in and out, messing with the bottom of the roster, messing with the middle part of the roster. And I think they finally getting a little footing on right now to try to build up some championship depth. This is not a team that has championship depth yet, but it's a lot better. Now, if you go on the second and third string people on your team, that means a lot of stuff that happened wrong. You have a lot of injuries. So you're not looking in the regular season to play a whole bunch of third, fourth team. You want to have a good first and second team. You know what I'm saying? So they can go in and rotate players. But I think they're doing a lot better. I'm a hold feet to the fire. Like you said, I was thinking about it today. They drafted
Mm-hmm.
three. They drafted three offensive players the first three drafts. They drafted Kyle Pitt, then they drafted London, then they drafted Bijan. Let's go back. Let's go to the time machine. I know what if. What they drafted Michael Parsons the first year. Then they drafted Jordan Davis the second year. Then they drafted Jalen Carter the third year. Think about that. I'm not, I know it's what if, but they put their bones on three offensive players. So now you're looking at these guys. They got to come stars, man. It's time. This year's the year. You was exactly right, Ryan. I'm not saying Fonte Smith they had a terrible year. I'm looking at it. If y'all don't make the playoffs this year, I mean,
No,
you
man.
can't get
He
mad
got
if the seat
to
get high.
go.
You can't get mad if the seat
Hey,
get
He
high,
got
right?
he got to
come,
go. He
come
got
on,
to go. He
hey,
don't make the playoff now.
come,
He got
come
to
on,
go. He
Chef
don't make the
Kelly.
playoff.
Hold on, come on, Chef Clutch. I hear you. Look, I hear you in there turning up the fish grease right now. I hear you making it hot.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah.
real
Go
talk.
ahead, go ahead and make
Hey,
it hot.
look. Hey, look. I don't need to turn on no fish grill. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. That, hey, man, this man don't make
Yeah.
the playoffs. It's time for his ass to go. And
And,
I'm team. And I'm team Stash now. I'm team
Hold
Bud
on,
Stash.
hold
But
on. Wait a minute. Let
if
me
he
make sure.
don't get it done, he got to go, man.
yeah.
Bree, he
Facts.
got to put. Hey, Bree. Me and Killian gonna put $1 in the swear jar or whatnot because I dropped one earlier at halftime. He just dropped one. So don't kill us tonight when you get the replay. Hey man, you gotta remember the school teachers out there, man. She
Yeah.
hear everything. So shout out to all the school teachers and educators out here. We definitely appreciate it. Dang. I'm like this, man. It's time to go ahead and let's just keep it a buck. Terry Fontenot's seat got to get warm too. Not saying he got to
Oh.
go, but you
Oh.
got to put that pressure on him because here's the thing: Terry is the trigger man that pulls the trigger to bring these guys in. Arthur Smith
100%.
gives his input, but Terry, being the general manager and being in charge of the scouting department, being in charge of bringing these guys in and negotiating these contracts, I love what he's done with being able to move money. I love it. But
That's right.
the thing that you got to do now, you got to get out of that shit. You got to get out of that mind state of getting these nickel and dime players. You're gonna have to bring in another big name player, but not just on the offense side of the ball. You got to start bringing in guys that are top defensive players in the country coming out of college, and you got to start doing a better job. You like, look, we got Carlos Washington, better known as Shawty Low 2.0. That's the other Shawty Low, and he fumbled tonight. He gave up draws when he took a shot. Ball security has to be first and foremost as a running back. You're not gonna make this team. You're not gonna make the starting lineup, but you got to make the practice squad because you don't know what's gonna happen. You got to protect the football at all costs. At all costs, because God forbid, knock on wood, Bijan go down. God forbid, Cordell Patterson goes down, and we've seen stuff like this happen. Right now, the Georgia Bulldogs are dealing with that right now. It's not like college. We got 6 running backs at Georgia. You know what I'm saying? And 3 of them are hurt, and he's a five-star guy, 4 and 5 star guy. And now you talk about the NFL where you're drafting guys to come into the system. And some of these guys are not as talented, and you're not going to be able to get the best talent at every position. You're going to have to get guys that can work. So this is where that scouting department comes in with building this depth. And I'm still going to stick to my guns. You better go into these HBCUs and you better start pulling some of these kids up out of there. Because now that the NFL network is showing these games and showing guys that are coming out of there, here's the thing. You got Troy Anderson out of Montana State. Okay. And no disrespect to Troy, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I give you 10 linebackers who play HBCU ball that's better than he is. Talking about intangibles that have been playing the position the whole time. And I'm not doing this to slight Troy, but I'm saying, what are we doing when we got HBCUs all in our backyard, from Alabama, Louisiana, Texas, Mississippi, and you can bring in role guys that are starters and that are at the top of the SWAC and the MEAC and also the CIAA. And then you got JUCO guys you can bring in as monsters too. So what are we doing in the scouting department? We're letting a lot of diamonds just go.
I mean, that
Breaking up.
Listen up, dog.
um,
What's going on, Richie?
can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
We can't draft offensive linemen.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the one guy that we who else?
Mm-hmm.
Man, you got
Well, Glenn, you got to go out and come back in, man. You just
it's
all
good to come
out.
back in.
Come
It's
back
good
I
to
in.
think I
come
see
back
you
in.
trying to say
So
though.
we got
What
a
are you talking
Facebook
what are
user.
you,
So
what are you
so
talking about
Ken,
in the offensive line, bro? You
so
talking
we got
about
a
just
Facebook user on here that just said, okay, so he got to go, but Arthur Smith didn't have the money to bring in good players from day one. Half of their squad was 1 year players, and Carlos Fumble just put him on the practice squad. Okay, I get what you're saying with that, but here's the problem though. When you go 3 years straight and you just grab offensive players, and AK-47 hadn't worked out for us. Let's be real. He got to show up this year
Yeah.
because you talking about you're getting a defensive player like that, and you're passing on a guy like a Channing Tindall who's starting in Miami. Let's be real, starting and balling in Miami. You're talking about a Jack Campbell who's a middle linebacker who is balling in Detroit as a rookie coming out right now. You want to talk about that. You've got to address that defense. Bringing in older vets is good that can still play, but you got to have guys that are going to be in the locker room who's going to be consistent and they're going to have tread on. You don't want to start getting these 1 year guys and pretty much becoming, as what we say, a safe haven or whatever for a year or two, and then they gone. You need to have some people you can invest in. What's going on, King Rich?
But
And
quick
I had to
question,
bring
fellas.
Greenbeard back in here.
but you're absolutely right. We gotta have guys that we can invest in. I mean, I wish they didn't go offense, but they did. So I'm hoping that this draft coming up after this season, they attack the defense even more and get more younger on that
Mm-hmm.
side of the ball. But
I mean,
that's to be said. Go ahead,
I got
Great Beard. I didn't want to cut you off. You came back
you good?
about the office,
First of all,
about the offensive line.
can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
can hear you a lot better now.
All right.
yes, sir.
I mean, y'all know the reason why we went offense. We in the offense driven league. I want that.
You still breaking up, bro.
I guess your mic is jacked up for the night, man.
Yeah,
Your mic is quit. Your mic is quit on you like the Falcons quit on us tonight.
you got the squirrel. You got the squirrel in your Wi-Fi, bro.
I'm telling you, we'll have to
Hey,
bring him
look,
back. All right.
we
So,
apologize for Great Beard's technical difficulties. Everybody out there watching.
I
hey
got a
man,
question though, fellas.
what's up?
Do you think first couple of years, okay, we're gonna bring in the offensive guys because Dean Pease, as much as they like Dean Pease, he really wasn't a guy that's gonna be here for the future. So they went here and tried to build the offense up, and now they got Ryan Nielsen in here. They got some older guys to try to just get the defense up to it, raise the defense, the floor of the defense this year, right? Raise the
Mhm.
floor of it. It was 30 something last year, 30 plus, whatever it was. Raise the floor a little bit with some older guys, and then now they're gonna start bringing in the guys that Ryan Nielsen want, like Zach Harrison. Now that's a Ryan Nielsen guy.
Yep.
That's the guy I think they're trying to make the Cam Jordan or the Trey Henderson of the Falcons. You know they had Trey Henderson, Cam Jordan down there, and they had the other guy. What's the other guy? Marcus Davenport. So they're trying to bring in them long, big edge rushers now, and they're gonna start bringing in more people for his defense. I was just wondering. I'm not making no excuses. I'm just wondering.
No, it's not an excuse because if you look at Zach Harrison, he didn't have the numbers like some of the other pass rushers and edge guys had coming out of Ohio State. But the thing that he did differently, because if everybody looks at his footage, he's very disruptive. Very disruptive. He doesn't have to always have the numbers, but here's the thing: when you can affect passing lanes, when you can make running backs go back into the flow of traffic, when you're talking about linebackers, defensive linemen that are getting off blocks and they're able to make plays, he's opening things up for other people. But he's also a sure tackler. He doesn't miss many tackles when he gets his opportunity. So when you talk about a disciplined football player like a Zach Harris, eventually I think those numbers are going to come. But physically, he's more like a Javon Curse than everybody wants to think about.
Mm-hmm.
Speed,
Mm-hmm.
speed, and strength.
Yeah, but I feel like that's what I was touching on even before you asked that question is that's what I feel like. I feel like they're building up their offense, but now they got to get that defense, younger, get it more athletic, get it more long and lengthy. Like you said, exactly, build it in the eyes of Ryan Nelson the way he wants the defense built. Because I did feel like Dean Pease is just a bridge to who they want to really bring.
Yeah, I feel the same way too. He wasn't gonna be there
Yeah,
for a long time. He was an older guy. He was ready to retire. So just try to get the defense. He did the best he could with what he had, and now we bring in Calais Kim, we bring in Bud Dupree, we bring in these older veterans to help these guys learn how to be pros. Just raise the floor of the defense, and now we can start drafting. We really want. We can start drafting these guys that have a dominant pass rusher, or probably another defensive tackle. Some other guys around them. So that's what I was thinking too.
yeah.
Yeah,
And here's the thing, man. You got to look at it like this, man. When you talk about a trigger, and we talking about trigger man, I wasn't mad at bringing in Zach Harrison. I knew about him before he was even drafted, and I was like, man, I said whoever gets him, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I thought he was gonna go to New Orleans. That's who I thought was gonna get him because
Bruh.
he fits. He no, let's be real. He think about it. He fits what they do.
Yep.
He fits what
Yep.
they do. And for us to bring in a Zach Harrison, and then you got Bud Dupree, who was solid at the beginning, who's been solid. Not saying that he's going to be the Bud Dupree of old, where he was good in Tennessee like that, but let's be real. Bud is a solid player. He's been a solid player throughout his whole
Yeah.
career. And
Yes, he
I
has.
think what he's going to teach Harrison how to do is become more of a professional. So when you get that to rub off on some of these young guys, and then you got a David Onyemata who's still in his prime and still got time, I think that that's really going to be the turning point of these guys. But again, we're gonna find out this year whether these guys are for real or they're not, because we know what the backups are gonna do. They're backups for a reason. But can we bring this together with the veterans that we have? And I got to give it up to my man Rise Up Nation, because I'm checking him out on Facebook, but this is him right here. He's the Facebook user. He said we still remain to be seen if the offense moves and drafts going to work out. He said I hope they do, but I think Ritter is just like every other QB. He needs time to develop. I agree. We've been saying it. We said he should have been getting
Yeah.
more reps in the preseason. You know what I mean? And just getting used to having those live bullets flying at him.
yeah. I do. I mean, I want to third that, second that, and
Uh,
piggyback that. I mean, I feel like the guy needs. I don't say you got to play the whole half, but give him some drives, man. Give him some live fire, some live bullets, because I feel like the 4 games he started last year was a great taste. But like you said, if you're still developing into a better and greater quarterback, all it comes with reps. But I feel like the key thing and the most important thing about this training camp was how healthy can we get to that finish line so we win. So I think we did pretty good, man. We didn't have any major people go down with any catastrophic injuries before week 1, so we should be okay.
But here's the other
mhm.
thing. We're in a position now where we're in a win now, or it is what it is. Because guess what? You have the best team out of the division right now. Period. Talent wise, up and down that roster, you have the best team. You were in all those games last year except but one. You have no excuse this year, Arthur Smith. You gotta put it together, because now This division, you should have won it last year, but now you have a clean slate this year to change some things and get this division. Then you also have a chance to get to the playoffs. You gotta produce one, or you gotta produce both. Point blank period. Because there's no more time for mediocrity in this franchise. No more time for that. But I want to
But
thank you guys for coming on tonight. I'm not gonna keep it too long tonight. Had to just chop it up. We definitely will be back next. We're gonna have a Hall of Fame offensive lineman coming to join us soon, Mr. Larry Little, who helped the 1972 Dolphins go perfect. So we got Mr. Little coming on soon. So y'all stay tuned for that. And we also got another Hall of Fame offensive lineman that'll be coming probably 2 weeks after him, and that's going to be a man by the name of Dwight Stevenson, who used to protect Dan Marino. So we are going to be able to talk to two offensive linemen who are Hall of Famers, who were both guard. One was a center and the other was a guard. And both of those guys got to the Hall of Fame, and they'll talk about the importance of what it takes to win championships, whether it's at the collegiate level and also on the and pretty much in the highest level in the NFL. And how can the Falcons protect our quarterback, like they did for two Hall of Fame quarterbacks, one in Dan Marino and the other in Bob Greasy. So we got that coming up for you guys. Um, definitely appreciate you guys for coming on. Hey, Ant, man, thank you for coming on, brother. Like I said, got some
thank
stuff
y'all,
coming.
man. Salute y'all, man. Y'all
Got some
doing a
stuff
great job,
coming your
man.
way.
Appreciate
Proud
it,
of you,
man.
Man,
Ron,
Appreciate
man. Keep doing your thing, brother. Y'all doing your thing, man. Real talk.
it.
we
Appreciate
appreciate
it.
it,
Thank y'all,
man.
man.
Thanks for coming through. And shout out to our guy Jeff Hicks for commenting tonight, and Falcons Nest, and my guy Rise Up Nation, who's always on. And I love about him, and everybody that's over in Dirty Bird's lair, that's chimed in tonight. Too many to name because everybody was coming through. We definitely appreciate you guys there. Atlanta Falcons 2.0 and all the other Falcon platforms that follow us. We definitely appreciate it, man. So, Kay, you already know how I get down, baby. I know you gotta hit the sack. Got that early morning tomorrow.
Oh yeah, for sure. Already, man. Always rising
Appreciate
up,
it.
man. We're gonna
Yes,
get to
sir.
week one, everybody, and good see y'all next week, man. Same.
Oh man. My phone K Dub. I don't know what happened. It just chimed out.
Okay. Oh,
Sorry about
I'm
that. I
back
don't know
on.
what happened. It just chimed out. You're back
Oh no,
on. It chimed
I
out.
was just saying good night everyone. We'll see you same back channel, same back time next week in the bird cage. And we'll get ready for week one. That's it.
Yes, sir. So once again, man, we thank you. We love you for coming on. We appreciate you. Like I said, we got better things coming this season, man, and we definitely want you to make sure you like and subscribe to YouTube if you're following us there. If you're on Facebook, please like and subscribe our YouTube. We definitely appreciate it. We got a lot of good stuff coming your way. Um, and like I said, man, we're family. We're a little disappointed in the results, but hey, this is what's gonna be. We got to get used to it. New defensive coordinator. We're gonna have some growing pains, but I see a lot of the positive going down. So much love to y'all. We'll see y'all next week. I love you, and I love everybody um, in the group. Thank you for joining us tonight. Hey, we're looking for a lot of dubs this year. Excuse me, not this week, but this year. This week was just a little rough, but we got some dubs coming. Y'all be blessed.